is where I was, I think.
No, we didn't talk about how long it was going to go. We were talking about what?
Oh, we didn't talk about anything.
Yeah.
Right? Now, one of the things that's quality with you is your facial expressions. Like your facial expression says it all. Like over the years,
that's what I've been told.
Yeah. So over the years, like I tell people, I'm that conduit in the Virgin Islands to get to Tim, and I tell people all the time. I said, listen, I sent him a text. He hasn't responded yet. That is a good thing because Tim's no's are immediate. Like there's no second guessing, there's no thinking about it. No is no. And we didn't discuss any of these questions, but I am staying in your house and I don't want to get put out, so I'm gonna stay in the middle of the room. Not gonna ask too tough of a question.
Ask whatever questions you want. Let's go.
But I saw that the Golden State Warriors head coach, Steve Kerr, at the time, said Tim Duncan was the greatest teammate he ever played with. Did you see that?
He actually sent me a message and said something along those lines. So, and again, segue. I've gotten some incredible notes, messages from so many different people that have actually honestly blown me away.
Yeah.
Didn't expect all of this. Didn't expect the reaction I got, but it's been amazing. You've been with me. I spent the last 2 days trying to respond to everybody and trying to get back to everybody to make sure that they know I'm thankful for their message, their words. So I did actually get a personal note from Steve.
Okay. Now, along in that personal note, did Steve say, "Hey, you know, our center right now is Jaja. Want to come play for us?"
No, we didn't go down that road. And you know, I'm blessed. I've got friends. I guess if you're around for 19 years, you just kind of.
Yeah.
Well, I've got friends everywhere, GMs, coaches, and everything else, and we've all joked about hey, why don't you just come play for us for So I've gotten no serious offers, but funny offers in that respect, and that feels like love more than anything else. So I'll take it as that.
Okay, now that's an easy comment to make, but when you stop and you reflect that Steve Kerr played with Michael Jordan, that makes that compliment even greater. And in the heyday of Michael Jordan, the Black Jesus days, what was it like to face him?
I only got to face him a couple times, and it was. I think sometimes you just sat there in awe of what he is, and as not only a basketball player but as a global figure. And I remember my first shot against the Bulls when we played them here. My first shot was an air ball. It was just like a stone cold, wide open, just air ball, and I was just like wow, like that's the energy of just them being in the building, trying to get those nerves out. And I think that's kind of what he every time you're around him, that's kind of what he brought.
Now, how ironic was it for you that now young players gave you that feeling?
Yeah, that's always
or
been.
You gave young
players. Yeah. That's always been such a weird feeling for me, because I get to sit next to guys in my locker room who are like, man, compliment, and I try to take it as that and try not to take it as, man, you are old and still here.
Right. Now, I'm not.
I have a question.
Fine, sure.
Okay, so along that line, you know, you say you're in awe of these guys, the older players that you grew up watching, and the younger players that are playing with you are in awe of you. I heard recently that Bill Russell said that any comparisons people make between you and him, he finds flattering. That's crazy when you think about it.
Love Bill Russell.
Yeah, well, he's lovable.
Yeah,
But like, he's flattered by that. Like, go back and high five 10-year-old, 14-year-old you and be like, holy smoke.
Yeah, that's an amazing compliment. I've not heard that, but that's an amazing compliment from a guy I had an opportunity to be around on a couple different occasions, and one, a great and incredible person. And to know what he's done and to hear that is, again, I'm overwhelmed by the responses I've gotten from in every direction, from old friends, high school friends, to college teammates, to coaches, to everything else, and then to hear things like that, it's just, I don't know or understand, or I guess I couldn't fathom the way people thought of me.
Yeah.
Just because I guess I don't do that for myself.
Exactly. And you're not one to toot your own horn. One of your prized possessions, well, I thought it was a prized possession. Tim was like, that's cool, eh? You have an autographed item from Dr. J. And I think on it it says that you are his favorite player, or one of his favorite players.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the doctor, though.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you something, right?
This
Wait, stop. If it was the other way around, as soon as I got that item from Dr. J, I was calling you on the phone, Tim. And you won't believe what I just gave to you. You don't even mention it. Not that you don't appreciate it.
No.
But it feels like bragging, don't it?
Yeah. Well, no. See, that's a tough one. I've got a lot of things from a lot of people, and that is one of my very most prized possession. And I don't even think I have it out displayed. It's in my area where I see things on a daily basis, and it's just never been something to brag about. It was flattering to me in extreme ways, and it's a pride. And every time I walk by and I see it, I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool.
I'm that friend. That other friend.
You are that friend.
Yeah.
Well, this is good and bad. Sometimes I don't know how to take it. But I'm that friend that other friends contact, or family members, and ask me to tell you something that they feel like you should know, but everybody else is scared to tell them. And I remember on that blockbuster vacation, when you were a rookie.
Now it's a vacation. Went on vacation earlier.
That's to show you how old we are. Blockbuster was still around. I remember we were having a discussion, and Mark made the comment. This is after the string of Rookie of the Week awards. Mm-hmm. And Mark made the comment that when it's all said and done, you're going to be as good as Michael Jordan, or in the ranks of Michael Jordan. And me being the real guy that I was in the room, I was like, okay, come on now. I think we're going too far.
And I was right along with you.
I think we're taking it too far. But now that the day has come, like really and truly, like you are in the same breath with the greatest players of the game.
You know what? I don't know how to the ranking goes or anything else, and I tell some people I don't really care how the ranking goes. I'm in the conversation.
All right.
I'm okay with that. That's above and beyond anything that I ever thought I would be. So I'm in the conversation. I don't care where you rank me or what you say it is or how you want to say things go. I'm in the conversation, and that in itself is an honor.
All right. Now, I feel compelled to say his name the way another fellow with Virgin Islands ties would say his name when I bring this up.
Uh-huh.
Stephen A. Smith talked about the fact that Tiago Splitter at one point made more money than you. How did you feel about that? Did you say, okay, here's what, Tiago, every time we go to dinner, you have to go to the same restaurant as me, and you got to pick up the bill. Did you do that?
No, I love Tiago. I've never sitting here right now, I know at some point it was, but it's not ever been a deal for me. Like I don't. We were able to. I took a little bit less money at certain points so that we could stay competitive, so that we could bring players in, so that we could put pieces around, so that we could win championships. And that's all it is about. I don't really care who was making what. And the honest truth is, and people may or may not believe it, I don't really know from year to year what everybody was making.
Right.
And I think that was the best perspective to have, because I never looked at Tiago and said, hey, you're paying for dinner.
Right.
I never looked at this guy and said, hey, you make more than me. I didn't know who was who and what was what, because I didn't pay attention to the numbers. And that gave me the ability to just be happy for whoever was doing whatever.
And I think, like, on the low, that was your motivation, though. You just mentioned that you wanted to be in the conversation. And I don't think people realize, they see this humble nature that you possess. And I don't think they realize how important it was to you, not for the praise, but to be included in the conversation among the greats. And the sacrifices that you made as an individual to accomplish that. I mean, you have the greatest win percentage of any athlete in any sport over the course of your career. You won 61% of your games or something.
Look at you doing research.
Listen.
Oh!
Look, see, if we had had this interview like 10 years ago, like, I could have been Ahmad Rashad to your Michael Jordan. Like, I could have been on national TV already. You know what I mean? So now I think we should do like a special where I like interview all the retired greats moving forward.
Hey.
And we bring them down to the Virgin Islands to shoot.
I'm all for that.
I think everybody would be all for
I
that.
think everybody would be out for that. I know I needed like a mulligan or like a gimmick. I needed something to entice this deal. So a trip to the Virgin Islands might be it. But I don't think people realize how competitive you were. You know, I tell people all the time, like, yo, Tim is a bad man. When you finished the Western Conference Finals in 2014, and you said, we're going to do what we didn't do last year. You know, normally people don't want to create that locker room material, that billboard material to put on the opposing team's locker to give them motivation. That right there was like a signature piece. But that was like you saying, you know what? We should have won last year, but definitely we win in this year. And you did that against a great competitor in his own right, LeBron James. And you went out there and you accomplished that. And from the time the Western Conference Finals was over and that interview on the sidelines, I said the Spurs are going to win this year. And it was all because of your confidence. It was all because of your demeanor. But how is it people don't see that? Like, how at no point did people realize how competitive you are, being one of the greatest athletes in the world?
I think I've always approached it a different way. I don't. I think competitiveness is taken in a different way by different people. So I'm not a yeller and a screamer and a jumper and a pusher, and I'm not going to do all that stuff with my teammates or opponents. But I've been competitive from day one. I got to the point where with my kids, I got to think about it. Like, I got to think about it. I got to turn it off. I got to be like, all right, okay, I got to let them win this one because I can't. It's just it's in my nature, and whether people recognize that or not, I don't know how they can't. I'm not going to go out there and try to hurt somebody or win at all means, but if it's up in the air, I'm going to try harder than you to get it done.
All right. Now, okay, you introduced the children into the conversation. I think you are the greatest father that I've ever witnessed. I had a great father. But I'm going to just give some tidbits to give some more insight of who Tim Duncan is that people don't realize. NBA Finals 2014. I was upstairs in my room. I guess I could call it my room.
It's your room.
And from downstairs early in the morning, like this is a championship game tonight. And early in the morning, I hear, Sheedy, what you want for breakfast? So I look down and you were in the kitchen making breakfast. And I'm thinking to myself, this has got to be the weirdest thing of any professional athlete preparing for a major game tonight. And he was like, no, I got to make breakfast for the kids. I never wanted kids. This is a true story. I never wanted kids until I saw you interact with your children. And the father that you are, I see that you're passing on the sense of humor. The kids weren't here in town this weekend. They called you at 1 o'clock in the morning. You pick up the phone for FaceTime, turn the screen around, and you said, hey, say hi to Rashidi. And the first comment the little comedian had, hey, Rashidi, you learned to swim yet?
We gotta post that picture though. We gotta need some context.
Yeah, they've got a sense of humor on them. They do, and it's been such a blessing just to watch them grow but they, as you said, they know and they don't know what I do or what it takes. But they know I'm dad and I gotta be dad. So you gotta be dad when it's time to be dad.
So
I gotta interject something.
They're probably the only people in San Antonio who are happy that you're retired. Is that true?
It's mixed. It's mixed. I've been really fortunate the last couple of years. They both kind of started growing to really like watching the games and know what's going on. I give a lot of credit to Vanessa because she sits there and tells them what's going on and yells at the officials and all the other stuff. The good and the bad. So
I encourage the officials.
Take the good with the bad. So they've really kind of gotten into it, and I think Sydney probably more than Dre thus far. I know Dre's love for the game is coming. I'm not pushing it, but I know it's coming. So they were. I don't know that they were that happy or sad. I think they're okay with the fact that I'm going to be around more, and they don't have to, I don't know, compete with the schedule or anything else. So I think they're happy about it, but they're sad that they won't be able to go to the games and see me play and that kind of stuff. So it's mixed.
But even in your schedule, I mean, you were the kind of father who actually literally goes to school and have lunch with your kids.
Well, on top of that, like especially during the season, he gets up at 6 a.m. and helps them get ready, helps make sure everybody eats, make sure everybody's happy, drives them to school, and there are a lot of hands on deck. He can certainly find someone to do that. All of those things. Drives them to school because that's an extra hour that he has with them. Huh? What's that?
So we need to give him that sound But it's
no. And then from there you go to practice. And then from there, or you take a nap on the massage table and then go to practice. And then after practice, come home, maybe grab a nap if there's a game, maybe go to blackjack, and then pick them up, help with homework. We have dinner together and then hang out, have fun, and put them to bed and do it all over again. Like the way
the schedule for the last couple of years has been a little bit of a grind, but again, you're asked to do what you're asked to do.
Is that because of what you saw your father did as a provider?
Yeah, it's just it's my desire to be there for them and to spend as much time as I can with them. So I can pawn it off on somebody else, but I love my time with my kids. So I try to do as much as I can with them. Okay. Now I get to get more time with them. So it all works out.
Okay, so now tell me about your love for the city of San Antonio. What would you say to fans in San Antonio that you haven't had an opportunity to say yet?
Just thank you. I don't think there's anything better to say than thank you. Over the years, we've been blessed. We've been great about winning games and everything else, and we've lost some big ones, and obviously lost a couple chances at championships. But the fans here have just been so awesome in their support and their love for the team. Even people out all the time. Sometimes people stop me, and sometimes it's not time for people to stop me.
Right.
But everybody's always shown just such appreciation and love for myself and the team. And I know everybody says this, but we really do. We're some of the best fans in the NBA, in sports in general. And I'm so appreciative of that, because you